and welcome to Culture on I-24 News. I'm Oded Grover, happy to be here as always. Today on our program, we'll hear from the director of the new Arab Museum in Sakhnin. We sent our correspondents to visit the Gibraltar Music Festival. And we'll see an Egyptian TV drama with an interreligious love story. The Omocha Museum for Contemporary Art in the northern Israeli Arab town of Sakhnin opened recently. It aims to expose new artists to new audiences. And with us from Sakhnin is the museum's co-founder, Belu Simeon Fainaru, to tell us all about this new venture. Hello, Belu.
Hello, how are you?
Very well, thank you. So tell us what events, what exhibitions are planned for the museum during its first year. What's the opening exhibition?
The opening exhibition, it's called Hiwar, it's dialogue in English. And then the main idea of this museum and the vision of this art activity is to make dialogue, in this case between Jews and Arabs, that it's a big political dispute for many years. And we want to use art and exposing also artists from different religions in order to create a human dialogue, to know each other and to put away preconceived ideas.
Right. Now, the museum is located in Sakhnin in northern Israel. As we said, it's an Arab town, mostly known for its soccer team, at least till now. Now, opening a museum isn't easy anywhere, but I would guess that it's especially difficult there.
To open a museum in periphery, it's very difficult. First, it's not here infrastructures. There are no money for such things. Here, if there is some budget, they want to invest them in schools or in medical treatments, things that really are necessary, but we think also art. You cannot live without taking care also about your soul also. And these are the last things that people are taking care. And another thing, it's not easy, you know, we come here as Jews in a mostly Muslim population city. And to open a dialogue, you know, also through art, it takes many, many times and efforts, and it's not a simple thing, but because we opened the museum, means that we succeeded to put things together.
Right. Now, what special considerations come into play when you curate an exhibition there? Do you have to make sure that, you know, local artists take part?
Yes, yes. Also, we see local artists. One thing, we want to give place to local artists, but the thing is also to have high quality in artworks and to be a professional artist. And we emphasize a lot artists that live in the Galilee area. They study in Israel academies in Tel Aviv, in Haifa area, in Jerusalem. And we give them a place near their house because they live far away from the center, like Tel Aviv, where are all the galleries, curators, art collectioners. And it's not very easy for them to approach these places. So we hope they will have a house here for exposing their art for other people.
Right. Well, it's a wonderful project, and thank you so much, Belu.
Okay, merci, au revoir.
Au revoir. Now, the Enclave of Gibraltar, with its strategic location controlling passage through the Mediterranean, is a haven of peace and coexistence. Last week, the Gibraltar World Music Festival was held with musicians from different backgrounds who gathered to celebrate under the leadership of its artistic director, Françoise Atlan. David Gombin, Daniel Campos, and David Yakin were there. They brought back this story.
Welcome to Gibraltar. This tiny enclave is famous for its imposing rock, with over 150 secrets and enchanted caves. The largest of them, the St. Michael Cave. Tonight, the rock is illuminated and decorated to host the World Music Festival of Gibraltar.
You're going to attend to two concerts. One is called Convivencia. It's made in Gibraltar with a lot of artists from everywhere. And the concept has been created by Françoise Atlan, who's not only a famous singer, but our artistic director tonight.
French musician Françoise Atlan is among those who have contributed to the revival of Arab Andalusian music. Born to a Moroccan Berber father, and a mother who was a piano teacher and classical singer. Atlan grew up between two cultures. Hesitant to engage in a classical singing career, she decided to go in search of her Moroccan roots.
And went to see what's going on there. That is to say, where I had never been, the Maghreb. And suddenly, I was invited to sing at the Fez festival. Once there, I realized that the musicians of Fez, they sang the same way my father did at the synagogue.
She is the recipient of the Medici Prize outside the walls, which has the mission to save the Arab Andalusian musical heritage and essentially oral heritage. A few years later, she became the artistic director of the Festival of the Atlantic Andalusian Music in Essaouira. Today, the Gibraltar Festival draws its inspiration from its big Moroccan brother.
It's been something in Essaouira, is that ultimately, Gibraltar is in a way a continuity of Essaouira. It's in the same spirit of Essaouira, and this is the spirit I wanted to bring back here.
Israel, Morocco, Tunisia, Spain. In Gibraltar, living together is tangible, but this agreement was the result of long preparation.
We sent the pieces, we worked, we agreed on the tones, by email, Skype, WhatsApp, audio. Finally, when we finally met and gathered to work, the meeting in the first song was scheduled to be played only by Jazz Oil at a time, and Amit Chai Cohen, he got up, he started playing piano, and after, Elad. And it was beautiful. The convivenza started to flow.
Et c'était magnifique, c'est-à-dire que la convivencia, elle a commencé toute seule.
The highlight of the festival, Tzur Mishelo, this liturgical song performed by Jewish, Muslims, and Christian musicians with a gypsy touch. The Music Festival of Gibraltar, in addition to the performances, it also promotes the exchange and creation in the days in which the musicians spend together.
These 2 days of rehearsals are precisely to also see how we preserve heritage. It has ancient melodies of Garnati or Arabic. For example, Kais, the Tunisian pianist, is a jazz musician, but very often he comes back to play Ma'alouf.
Between conservation and creation, programming is like the rock that hosts it. History and future are intertwined.
It is this young generation who understood that roots are very important. But the roots, you know, there's the roots, and then there's the tree that gives leaves and new branches.
As the last notes fade away in the St. Michael Cave, for festival goers and artists, the spirit of convivencia in Gibraltar will resonate for a long time.
Next week, we'll have another story our correspondents brought back from the Gibraltar Festival, so stay tuned. Now, Jews, Muslims, and Christians living together harmoniously in one of the Arab world's liveliest capitals. Today, that sounds like a dream, but in the early 1950s in Cairo, this was the reality. A new Egyptian drama for the month of Ramadan brings that era back to life with an interreligious love story that is enraging Egypt's Muslim Brotherhood. Ayman Siksak has more.
This is a love story between Ali, an Egyptian army officer, and Layla, a young woman in Cairo of the early 1950s. But their love story is likely to ruffle some feathers in the Arab world when the show airs on June 18th. Layla, the star of the series The Jewish Quarter, is a Jewish woman. Her love story with Ali unfolds between two landmark events in Egypt: the 1952 revolution, which replaced the ruling monarchy with Jamal Abdel Nasser, and the 1956 Suez crisis. The rising nationalism across Egypt sheds light on the worsening condition for its Jewish community. But the tides turn for Ali and Layla with the establishment of a country now known to have one of the most stable peace agreements with Egypt, Israel. But back in 2015, Layla and Ali's real enemy is not Israel, but rather the Muslim Brotherhood. its Egyptian founder is shown calling on Muslims to strike the infidels, quote, wherever they are found. The series creator said in an interview ahead of the show's release that the Muslim Brotherhood tried to take over in 1952 but failed, and again following the Arab Spring, adding that Egyptians must beware of history repeating itself. In a time where Cairo is under military rule, suffering the disappointment of the Arab Spring, Ali and Layla's story is a statement to its people on the real possibility of an inclusive society in Egypt and a bittersweet reminder of what used to be.
In a moment, we'll hear about the new Spider-Man, but first, here's our cultural recommendation for today.
British alternative rock band Suede are heading to Israel for a concert in Tel Aviv this July the 30th. It is impossible to disconnect the sound of Suede to that of the 90s, the decade in which they influenced teenagers and young adults with their singles Beautiful Ones, Animal Nitrate, Saturday Night, and She's in Fashion. These were among the most successful hits of the decade. Suede are winners of many awards, including the Mercury Music Prize, for helping foster Britpop as a musical genre. Suede now returns to Tel Aviv, performing one concert in the city at the Menorah Miftahim Arena.
And Avri Rosen-Tzvi, our editor, is already in the studio. Hello, Avri.
Hello.
It's something to do with comics.
Of course it does. Of course.
The world's a comic book to you.
We're talking about Spider-Man today. Of course. How
Peter
could
Parker.
we not? No.
What?
No.
What do you mean, no? It's not Peter Parker?
Well, it was Peter Parker. Okay. Let me start with this. Comics is very complicated.
I'm noticing.
People are complaining about the Avengers movie having two subplots. They should read comics, they'll start to complain. In the Marvel Universe, home of Spider-Man, there are many, many universes. Well, what they did to draw, a few years back, to draw young readers, they said, there's too much backstory. We're starting a new universe.
Okay.
It's called the Ultimate Universe, and in that universe, Peter Parker was replaced as Spider-Man by Miles Morales, who's an Hispanic black youngster from New York.
Okay.
And
he's the new Spider-Man.
And he became Spider-Man in the Ultimate Universe.
Okay.
Now there's a big crossover event, stuff you really don't want to know about.
Okay.
And in the end of this event, Miles Morales is becoming the main Spider-Man of the
normal universe.
The normal universe.
Non-Ultimate universe.
Non-Ultimate universe.
Okay.
I'm sounding geeky to myself as I'm saying
and
this.
That's saying a lot.
But now he's going to be the Spider-Man. When a kid picks up a Spider-Man comic right now, he's going to find a black, Hispanic Spider-Man.
Cool.
Yeah.
And
but
that's not. And his name isn't going to be Peter Parker.
His name isn't going to be Peter Parker.
Okay.
It's going to be Miles Morales, but it's not good enough for
happen.
cinema.
Oh.
Because they've just cast a new Spider-Man. As you know, they did a Sony Marvel sort of deal to get, because Sony had the rights. Everything
Very
is complicated in
yeah.
this world. And now they cast a new Spider-Man, Tom Holland, a British young guy. Why are they always British? The last guy who played Spider-Man was also British, white and British. And he's going to be Spider-Man, not Miles Morales, not black at all. And you know, in the Sony leak, they found emails saying Spider-Man has to be white, he has to be straight. We're not casting any of those newfangled black Spider-Mans.
Wow.
They're not cutting edge, but it's very interesting in the comic because Brian Michael Bendis, who wrote the new Spider-Man, says that to his daughter, Spider-Man is going to be black, Thor is going to be a woman, and Captain America is going to be black, because that's what we have in the comics right now.
I don't care as long as they make a good film, which I gotta say,
which they
Spider-Man,
haven't in many years.
Yeah. Thanks, Avi.
Thank you.
That's it from us, but before we go, one last thing. At 67 years old, former Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger is still an action star. The latest film, the Terminator franchise Genesis, is opening this weekend, and to celebrate, Arnie decided to prank his fans by posing as his own wax doll in the Madame Tussauds Museum in LA. The video was created for a good cause to benefit Omaze.com, who fund after-school programs, so we're certainly happy to support that. Here it is. Enjoy.
I'll be back.
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 You look real.
Because I am. Can you help you? No touching. Let me hold you. You want to come in the shot?
My God.
Thank you.